we have started a video series in which we are going to discuss the previous year questions of political science which was asked in the mains exam. In that series today we are going to start with this question which was asked in 2021 mains. It said J.S. Mill's ideas on women's suffrage, and this question was asked for 10 marks. Today we'll try to understand that what all should be written in the answer of this question to get maximum marks. So we'll try to first understand the meaning of the question, that what this question demands. So the core words in this question we can see is J.S. Mill's ideas on women's suffrage. Okay, and then it seeks our comment on this. Okay, so 3 parts. Now we all know that J.S. Mill was a prominent liberal thinker of 19th century. He was in England, and his writings influenced the idea of liberalism. He is the contributor towards the growth of positive liberalism. Okay, and the foundation of welfare state, etc. Okay, now his ideas on women's suffrage. Okay, so women's suffrage, it's like women's right to vote. Okay, in the political context, so it is about a political legal right. Okay, we can say legal political right of women to vote. Okay, so like this right to vote or franchise, what we call, has importance in a democratic setup. Okay, so in democracy, in the functional democracies, we know that the election process is very important. Okay, so here it is in the election that we exercise our right to elect our representative, like who are going to make laws for us under which we would be governed. So first we will try to understand what J.S. Mill had said on democracy, and then election, and then right to vote. And this question is about women's right to vote. So women's right to vote. So this is the proper setting of the question in which we need to see J.S. Mill's ideas. Okay, we all know that J.S. Mill is termed as a reluctant Democrat. Okay, so he is a liberal thinker, so of course he supports democracy, he supports individualism, but the kind of democracy which was functioning during his time in England particularly, and France, US at that time, so J.S. Mill was not very happy with that. He, through his experience and observation, had come to this conclusion that there should not be anything called universal adult franchise or universal right to vote, because the money-eyed class or the powerful people, they would easily manipulate the masses. So he was afraid that free will cannot be exercised by ignorant people. So when he supported right to vote for women, he asserted that it should not be free without qualifier, free of qualifiers, that he had already given, okay, for others also. So he supported first PR system, proportional representation system, And second, plural voting. Plural voting, we can also say weighted voting. All right. So what does it mean? It means that it should not be only the highest, like the person who gets highest number of votes should be elected. Okay, rather it should be based on the percentage, the parties. Okay, so we'll not go into the detail. So we should remember that while we are writing the answer, we must convey this thing that J.S. Mill supported plural voting. Okay, he said that the vote cast by a lawyer, a professor, okay, or an intellectual should carry more weightage than a normal person. So when he advocated women's suffrage, he remained, he reassured, or you can say reinstated this point, that it should not be free from qualifiers. He said that the right to vote should be given to those only who has certain intellectual traits, like they should be able to read, write and perform basic arithmetic. Okay, so intellectual trait, certain intellectual capacity, we can say, they should have. Then he said that they should also be paying something towards taxes, pay taxes imposed by the assembly. So he's against universal adult franchise, and these two qualifiers he had put. So then, of course, like when the question says women's suffrage, J.S. Mill advocated that yes, women should be given the right to vote, okay, with these two qualifiers. Okay, and to support his argument, actually his first systematic speech was delivered in 1867 in the British House of Commons. Okay, Second Reform Act was being discussed. Okay, in this he said that okay, half of the population is not included in the electoral roll. Okay, and it is not that they do not possess quality. Okay, many of them are managing businesses, running state, but no amount of merit can make them eligible to have this right to vote. So he implored that, and he said very emphatically that they should be considered, they should be given the right to vote. And he very satirically he said that there are many mistresses in the schools who are teaching arithmetic, and they know more than the average voters. Again, he said that are the men afraid of women, that if they would come to the parliament, okay, they would revolutionize the institution, or they would deprive men from their position of power? Or are we afraid that they would make bad laws or worse laws? Okay, so he satirically said that are the laws which is being made by us are good enough, and we think that women would make worse law, bad laws. So he very strongly put forward the case of women's suffrage in 1867. However, unfortunately, it was not accepted, but his speech, okay, had long lasting effect, and in the coming time, of course, women were given right to vote by different countries during at different times. Second point is that he also wrote an essay. Okay, the name of the essay was The Subjection of Women. The Subjection of Women. This essay was published in 1869. Okay, in which he again very emphatically put forward the case of women empowerment through women's suffrage. So these are the points that should be included in the answer. when we are attempting this, and we must remember that it is of 10 marks only. So please try to include as many points as possible in the systematic writing, and if we could include maximum of these points, then that would make a good answer and we can hope getting good marks for this question. Okay, in the next video I'll answer another question from the same question paper, 2021 mains. Okay, if you want, you can like this page and give your opinion in comments. Okay, thank you, keep watching.